You wanted the best. Well, they retired. So you got two dudes in a garage.
Talking KISS.
Welcome to the Hooligan Nation, the KISS-Centric Podcast. I'm Anthony.
I'm Rocco.
And I'm Black Diamond Dave.
Holy Jesus. Black Diamond Dave and Father Squeaky on the screen at the same time.
What's up, hooligans?
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to our version of As the KISS World Turns, where we discuss KISS current events, rumors, news, and interviews with current and past members. Strap in, crank it up, and let's talk KISS. What's up, Father Squeaky Toy?
What's up?
Good to see you, brother.
Nice to see you. I'm glad that we worked out your contract situation, and I just want you to know that the Twizzlers and the Blow Pops, they're en route right now, as agreed upon. And I just also want you to know that I sent you some squeaky toys with the Twizzlers and the Blow Pops. Okay.
Back on the horse.
Whoa. When you get the Twizzlers, the Blow Pops, and the squeaky toy, make sure you put them all in the closet.
I'm sorry, Rocco.
That's all good.
He's been
all
on his
good.
sword swallowing sabbatical.
Sword and Stone what?
His sword swallowing sabbatical.
Oh, I have the guy that completes me back. That's all that really counts. Father Squeaky Toy, do you have anything that you'd like to tell us? What have you been up to?
Let me see, tough guy Tony. Let me see.
I just wondered, like, what did you do with your time away? Did you?
My time away, I healed and try to get back to 100%.
Did you start out at 100%?
Not really. Not when you get to be 55. No.
So what percentage would you put yourself at now?
Probably 75.
75. What were you before the surgery?
Maybe 85.
Oh, so you had a surgery, a corrective surgery, and you went down 10?
Yeah, well, I'm still healing.
Oh, are you?
By the way, guys, it was hernia surgery.
Yeah, but it was for a vaginal hernia.
For your vaginal hernia.
It's a vagectomy.
They cracked themselves up.
We created. Don't talk about me.
That was my fault.
I said they. I said they. I used your pronoun.
Not my pronoun. No.
Go get it, Tony. Go get it, tough guy Tony.
I can't breathe.
We have to create the new version of the Garbage Pail Kids. We could have Father Squeaky Toy and Tough Guy Tony, and well,
I'll be Dirty Dave.
I think Dirty Dave was in the original Garbage Pail Kids. Do you even know what Garbage Pail Kids
Heck
are?
yeah, that's why I knew the name.
Okay. Just making sure. You got to wonder, there's an 18-year difference. I was 18 when you were born.
Right.
That's crazy. That's crazy to think about. Wow.
I could be your daddy.
I never had a father.
You call me daddy.
Jeez.
Ooh, we're going to draw the line there, brother. I'm not calling another man daddy.
Oh, my God.
Oh, now I got to figure out a way to
Even though we call him Father Rocco. So
Nah, we changed his name. He's Father Squeaky Toy now. Anyway, let's get going. For first things first, let's give out some information for all you hooligans out there that don't know this or haven't seen it yet. The Handsome Devil's full Kiss Cancer Goodbye pre-party performance is now live on the Kiss Cancer Goodbye YouTube channel. It is most definitely worth watching. I think it's about 90 minutes long, and I've watched it 3 or 4 times because I'm that kind of idiot, I guess. But I just can't stop.
It's that good. I don't blame you. It's that
really,
good.
Heck yeah.
Next up, and most importantly, the Catman himself, Peter Criss, has submitted to his first 2 podcast interviews promoting his new album. He appeared on Podcast Rock City Live and Kiss FAQ with Julian Gill. And we are going to discuss both podcasts and his appearance today. Father Squeaky Toy and Brother Black Diamond Dave, did you guys have a chance to watch both podcasts?
I did.
I watched the Joey Casada one. I thought that was really, really good. It showed a side of Peter that I didn't really know. Yeah, Peter these days is a lot different than he was back in the day. Like, he just seems like a really giving person, a lot more religious than I knew, too.
Yeah. I'm going to beat it into the ground. Peter is a class act these days.
Yeah.
And it is an absolute blast for me to watch it. As a Peter guy since I was young, everybody talked about how he was the dumb one, all that. Peter is the class act at the end of the day. It is a beautiful thing to see.
Absolutely.
Well, there's no doubt I watched both of those podcasts, and at no point during either one of those podcasts did I say, oh my God, I hope he doesn't say something stupid. And
Right.
every time Paul or Gene are on a podcast, I'm just waiting for the stupid statement that doesn't need to be added to be added. So I have to agree. Now, as you both know, I met Joey Casada at the KISS Cruise event in Vegas. But other than that, I don't know anyone else at all from both of these podcasts. But I'm a subscriber to both podcasts, and they both seem to be two examples of how to do things the right way. Because I thought they both did great interviews. I thought they both asked great questions, the right questions. It did jump out at me, and I don't know whether this is Peter or them, and I have to admit, someone would have to muzzle me at some point, because nobody asked questions about the past at all.
Yeah.
They didn't even ask them.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I was a little itching for like something from the past.
Yeah.
It didn't necessarily have to be dirt.
If it's talking about the past, it usually leads to that.
Always.
Well, yeah, I guess you're right. But I thought it was great on their part, and it does seem to me like, at least this is what I took it as, Peter wants to go forward.
Peter,
absolutely, dude.
Peter
and
is in a place
Dave-
in his life where he's very, very happy right now.
Yeah, and Dave said this in like one of the last few episodes, that he feels like Peter's kind of over the whole KISS thing. And from both of those podcasts, it does seem like Peter wants to talk about this record forward and doesn't want to talk about the past. So
I'll tell you one thing I got out of it too is, Peter definitely was lost at one point in his life. He definitely married into a good woman.
Yeah, Gigi saved him. There's no debating that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would debate that. I think most fans think that, and honestly, I think Peter thinks that.
Yeah.
I think she takes care of probably all the business things.
Well, even did you notice, like I think on Joey's, I'm going to get the context not completely right, but there was a point in time where he wasn't even itching to do any more music or material, and she was telling him get downstairs and create.
Right. She was telling me get back to work.
Right. I thought that was cool as hell.
Good woman, dude. You can do anything.
Absolutely.
I thought what was most exciting was that he was talking. He kind of hinted at there's more stuff he's got put away for a rainy day if he needs it.
Hey, one thing that him and Gene got on the same page, you know how Gene always says when you get to the end of the race, what do? Do you slow down or speed up? They both sound like they're both gonna keep going until there's nothing left.
Till the wheels fall off. Absolutely.
I think it's an interesting thing to think about, that it seems to me like Peter's been working in the studio since like 07, 08, and it took this long to make an album. And maybe I'm wrong about this, but I think the reaction from the album probably has rejuvenated him.
Yeah.
That we have spoken the last couple episodes, like Dave, I think you said that if he's going to put out something like this, I hope he puts out something else.
Right.
And I said to you, do you think that's realistic? And you said no.
No.
And I agreed with you. And after these two interviews, I think it's more realistic now. And I think it's probably based on the fan reaction from the album that came out. Like, I think he's finally found that happy middle ground where he can do what he likes, but the fans also like it. And that was a large part of the interviews, was him talking about, well, I wanted, he talked about female backup singers, that was a
Right.
thing in the 70s, and he wanted that. And he talked about all those things like that. I think he finally found the correct ingredients to do something that he wants to put his name on, but also do something that the fans love.
The other thing too is if you didn't know his age, to me he's a young 80. If you didn't know his age, you'd say he's just hit 70.
As I listen to it back, that's what I keep telling myself. This is a 79-year-old man putting out this quality.
Right. I mean,
It is amazing.
right.
Peter's a road dog. Only people like that can keep up this long.
Yeah.
My
Well,
hat's off to you, brother.
Absolutely.
but the one interesting little caveat to me that blew my mind was the drum tracks are from 2008.
Right. You were telling me. Yeah.
The drum tracks are almost 20 years old.
Everything was
Right.
written around those tracks.
Yeah, I read that. I heard that too.
That is crazy
Yeah.
to think about. Like, we just talked about, I said something like, I don't know how to write a song, but how do you write a song on the drums? And he single-handedly
Mm.
put me in my place.
He definitely made a good choice on the musicians. That bass, the bassist on that album is phenomenal. Like that, to me, that was the superstar of the whole album.
Billy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude. Whew.
Yeah, it rings
Yeah,
through in
man.
every song.
You can tell these guys were happy to do this for Pete.
Absolutely.
I think they were all superstars, to tell you the truth.
Oh yeah, no, there's not really.
The
There's
guy who
not a
scared
bad
me the most-
instrument
Yeah,
put
that's not
down.
me throwing anything against any other thing. Just
But
to
the
me,
guy
that's
who's-
what really stood out.
The guy who scared me the most was Paul Schaefer. And like, all you got to do is listen to the first 30 seconds of Creepy Crawlers, and you understand. To me, you understand what Paul Schaefer was doing there
He did it well. I love that song.
and what his purpose was. I mean, and I think he's on. I think Peter said he's only on 4 tracks.
Oh, he's got to be on that first track, the album opener.
Yeah,
The piano
Paul
work
Schaefer.
on that first one is fantastic, dude.
I think he's on 4 tracks, and John 5 is on 3 tracks, and the one who blew my mind was Mike McLaughlin. Like,
Yeah, I got a little bit of an Ace feel at times with him. Just
I
certain-
don't know.
certain
Well, I just
licks.
learned from that interview that that's the Mike McLaughlin that was in Chris, and
Right?
I
Yeah, no,
didn't,
yeah.
and I didn't
Woof.
realize that. So Peter has a pretty long history with him since Chris was 94, 95, I think, 93 to 95, maybe around there. So they got a pretty big history together. And the Chris album, until this album came out, the Chris album was probably my favorite.
Yeah.
And now I think this one is probably my favorite. The only thing that's beaten everything on this album is the acoustic version of Beth for me, which was on that album. But I thought it was interesting. Drum tracks from 2008.
Mm.
Another thing, he was asked if he felt a lot of pressure for this album, and he said that he felt a lot of pressure to deliver a rock album, and I can definitely understand that.
Yeah.
That this was the first one. I'm guessing this was the first one where there was a starting point, there was a goal, and it was a rock album. And I don't know that any of the albums in the past had that kind of goal in mind.
You
know what I mean?
finished-
It just feels to me like the 78 album was Peter trying to get as far away from that as possible.
Oh yeah.
And then the other albums were kind of like, I'm doing this for me. I'm going to do what I like. And I think this one was the first one where he was like, well, I like this, but let me also involve the fans and do things that they like.
Mm-hmm.
And it was masterful. To me, it was masterful because
Mm-hmm.
it's like every song. Every song you hear that Peter Criss sound, but it also is a rock song that is the sound that we all want, or most of us want.
On the interview with Joey, like the interesting thing I thought, I mean, you've heard me say this ad nauseum, but I've been looking for the next Black Diamond. And when he said that at the end of the reunion tour, he had lost his raspy voice, I thought that surprised me. And I mean, don't get me wrong, his voice on this album I really like, but I had been craving that like Rod Stewart type Peter, and he doesn't have it anymore. He said he lost it, which is interesting.
You get a
I'd
small
love-
taste of it on Hard Rock Knockers.
Jiggly.
But
Jiggle, jiggle.
when he was pushing this album, like the soonest I remember, that metal show was still in the air. So yeah, I bet the pressure was insane to come through on this.
Well, when you finish with the whole album and you try to think of an overall take, you're immediately thinking bass, you're thinking guitars, you're not thinking lounge. You're definitely not thinking lounge at the end of
No,
this.
not
No.
at all. No.
There is a lounge song. Which
Yeah.
is the lounge?
Sugar.
Is it Sugar? Yeah.
Sugar.
Yeah, I'm like, I wish Peter would
Sugar
get away
is the
from
lounge
sugar
song.
stuff.
Which hey,
Yeah, but you know what? He even said he thought that he didn't think that would get any good response. He was, he likes it, but he didn't expect it to get a decent response.
Joey brought up something that we had said earlier. Not that we're trying to take credit from the great Joey Casada, because we're not. But
No.
there's something for everyone on this album.
100%.
If you like the 78 Peter Criss solo album, there's elements of this album that you're going to like. If you like the, 80 out of control?
Out of control.
Everyone, well, maybe not.
Let me rock you.
There's that and that. There's elements of that. I don't know if there's any elements of All for One because, well, I haven't made it through the entire album yet. But but there's elements there, and I think, well, number one, I think somebody did that on purpose, and I think that's ingenious because Peter's style and taste is so all over the place that I think in some cases you have some fans that love Out of Control and hate Kiss, or love Let Me Rock You and hate Kiss. Like, I think it's possible. I think it's possible for you to put on Peter's 78 solo album to someone that doesn't like Kiss, doesn't like hard rock, doesn't like heavy metal, and they could love the 78 solo album. Now, how they successfully put all that together, all those different sounds on one album, is nothing short of amazing to me. You didn't alienate any of your fan base at all. Doesn't matter where the fan base came in. If you came into Kiss in the 70s, you liked the album. If you came into Peter Criss in the 80s solo material, you liked the album. I think that's a hard thing to do.
Another thing that I get from it, and I find it interesting, every time I go back and I listen to it through again, I probably listened to the whole thing maybe 5 times. I get something new out of every time. Little idiosyncrasies that show references of Kiss in the back in the day. Like, there were some strategic things that he did in this album that if, a diehard Kiss fan is going to pick up on and really appreciate.
They talked about that, I think, in the Podcast Rock City interview. And he was asked, did they do that on purpose? And he said that they did do it on purpose. They're in the Star Wars world. They're called Easter eggs. That's what they're called. Because there's a million Easter eggs in each Star Wars movie that the average fan or the average person who watches the movie will never pick up on. And like you, I'm still picking up on different little Easter eggs in the songs. And the one, Joey brought up the one the one song, the opening is the drums on Rock and Roll All Night. And I can't
Yeah.
remember what song it
Yeah.
is, but it
For the
just
money.
For the money, yeah.
is that what it is? Just
Yeah.
jumped out at me. Oh, that's Rock and Roll All Night. Like, I think that that's cool things that KISS fans want.
100%. 100%.
And he delivered on all of that. Like,
He should be proud. Definitely be proud of this album.
you know, when
Oh, yeah.
Ace Frehley sat down to make an Ace Frehley solo album, he didn't have to think about all of this. He just made an Ace Frehley solo album. And some were better than others, but all had a personality. With Peter, there's so many different personalities musically that it had to be a lot of work to bring all these different
That's
things
a really good point. That's a
together.
good take.
Like it's a difference. This may be stupid, but consider the source. There's a difference between going to get a can of pre-made chili and throwing it in the microwave after you take it out of the can, by the way, or making chili from scratch. And I think that Peter had to take the long route. He had to make it from scratch, and he had to come up with the different elements, or his team had to come up with the different elements. Like, how are we gonna make the KISS fans happy on this song, and make the '78 solo album fans happy on this song? And I think he hit a home run.
There's one other interesting thing that I'm gonna hopefully be able to explain eloquently. To me, if this happened a year ago, I think we like one of the things he says, and it kind of like surprised me. It's not an element or an area I thought of at all. Is that he wished he made music with Ace, and I think if he came out with this album a year ago and Ace was still alive, we would have gotten that because he would have had the confidence that he could still make. You know, this is something he's got confidence. I think he would have been able to do that. So it's kind of sad in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I think we talked about this off screen before we recorded a little bit. And my take on it was they never did it because of ego. And I'll stand by that.
Does that mean like one guy reaching out to the other, or what do you
mean
exactly?
I just think that I think that both of them went out solo after they left KISS and got a taste. Well, actually, during the '78 solo albums, I think they both got a taste of what it's like to be the boss and do what you want to do. And then they both leave KISS and they make solo albums. And whether they are successful or not, it's everything that they want. And then you want to put them two together, and they could be the best of friends. Who's the boss? Who's making the final decision?
Right.
Like, are you going to, if you're Ace, are you going to tell Peter, no, I don't think that song's good enough? If you're Peter, do you tell Ace, no, I don't think that song's good enough?
An interesting dynamic to think about.
Right. But I think at this point, if Ace was still alive, I think they would have been able to both get over that, because I think part of the reason why Ace's album was as good as it was, and I don't know what everybody's opinion is on it, but I like it. But I think part of the reason why it was as good as it was is because all of that stuff is out. He was 74 years old. He was making music more for the fun of it. Like, nobody sells records anymore. Nobody makes any money off of that stuff. He didn't need to put new material out to continue to tour. And putting new material out wasn't going to up the seats in where he was playing. And I think the same thing for Peter. Like, Peter's not looking, I don't think Peter's looking to make boatloads of money. Peter just wants to have fun.
He's enjoying the ride.
Right. So you would have had both of them there. I think it would have been a real possibility to have them together and do something together, which would have been really cool.
It's what's
Incredible.
interesting is if you just Kiss as a whole, they've done so much and put out so much stuff for us to listen to and enjoy, and you still can find areas of things that they've left off they left on the table. You can
Yeah,
always
and
still find stuff like that,
that's one of the big
History.
ones.
Yeah,
That's definitely one of the big ones, but it is what it is.
right.
I think I said this earlier a little bit, but Peter comes across as very much honest and real, unlike some others who seem to believe we're interested in bullshit. Is that me or?
No, not at all.
No, no,
Peter
no,
Peter
no.
was being himself, man. You could
Yeah.
tell.
Yeah, it does not seem like there's a public Peter and a private Peter. No, Peter is what
I think
Peter is.
but I think it's taken years and a lot of work and a good woman to get that out of him.
Agreed.
Well, I can understand that. I am a little bit cement headed.
We all are. We're men.
So I can understand why it would have taken him this long.
Let's just say I love this version of the Catman.
Me too.
As far as the raspy voice goes, I think it's unfortunate,
Yeah,
and I really hope he finds it. I doubt he will, but
that'd be a nice surprise to pop out a single with that at some point.
yeah, I mean, just one more,
Just one more, Pete. One more,
just
Peter.
one more, one
Black Diamond
more.
2.
Right? I mean, the hell with it. Just name it Black Diamond 2.
Peter, if it helps, it's probably my favorite Kiss song all time.
Oh,
It's pretty close. It's up there. It's definitely
for
up
sure.
there.
oh.
Is
It's
it
a top
it's not
10.
it's not going
I
past
just-
5. It's definitely not
Dave,
going past 5.
Dave, you don't understand. I love when he does these top things because he's
I know-
got
I know where he's going.
57 songs in his Kiss song top 10.
Top 5. Yeah.
I don't know where he's fitting them all, but I keep all the raw recordings of these, and someday I'm gonna have enough time to go through and count out
The
how many.
bloopers.
That's in my top 10. No, you
This is
can't
1A.
have 65 songs in your top 10. It's my top 10. He did what you
1B.
did today. Today it's in my top 10.
Black
Hey,
Diamond does never
it
goes
changed-
below 5. Never.
No, dude, it changes constantly with Kiss. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, except what were you trying to say, Father Rocco? That it's always in your top 5?
It never go. It'll Black Diamond. No matter what time, it will never go below 5 ever.
Okay.
He's gonna pull tape. I wouldn't go that far, brother.
No, I'm not gonna pull tape. I'm just gonna schedule like our top 10 Kiss songs, and I'm gonna give it like 2 or 3 months, and then when it comes out and Black Diamond's at like 6 or 7, pow, gotcha. Yep, tough guy Tony
Tough guy Tony.
here to mess with Father Squeaky Toy.
Hey, we got you a moniker now. We got to get. There you go.
I'm
Tough
the
Guy
only
Tony.
one. I'm the only one that doesn't have a nickname.
You do now.
You
Tough
got
guy
one
Tony.
now.
Tough
Yeah.
guy Tony.
Although
It's got a ring to it. Wait, Twinkle Toes Tony.
Twinkle Toes. Oh yeah, I'm a dancing fool.
Like the Flintstones.
I'm a dancing queen.
You said it. We didn't, brother.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I'm at the point in my life where I really don't care.
You see that one episode we did together? Now he's obsessed with ABBA.
I am.
Fernando.
I am. Those avatars blew me away, man.
I told you they're really impressive, man.
Oh my god, blows my mind that there's Kiss fans out there that are talking about the avatars like, this is terrible, this is garbage. I'm like, oh my god, this is great.
You weren't there that night in MSG. I walked out shitting. We all did. You should have listened to the people as we walked out the garden that night, dude. Everybody was pissed.
I don't know why. I don't even know why. In that case, they would
your
be
last
pissed.
show with them, allegedly, because we all bought into that, but it was an infomercial. We should have known better, but no one was expecting them to sell us something at the last show.
Who? No one. Come on, man.
No, we weren't, but we should have known better. Admittedly,
Yes, you absolutely should have known better. That's what KISS does. That's why it's the KISS Corporation. And look, that's why they're worth what they're worth, and they sold it for what they sold it to, because you can call them two guys a lot of things, but dummies,
not one.
not one of them. Look, when they open their mouth, sometimes dumb things come out. But business-wise, them guys got a pretty good track record, if you ask me.
And you know what? Whether you want it or not, as a KISS fan, you're always getting something. You're always getting something. They're always throwing.
Yeah.
You're not. I mean, they're not giving it away for free, but they're always putting something out. Like we started this podcast, and we were like, you know
We
what?
did?
And when we started this, you know where
We're
I'm going.
doing a podcast?
You know where I'm
Oh.
going with this. We started and was like, okay, well, we'll see how far it goes. They're at the end of the road with this, and then all of a sudden, it's like it's taking on a life of its own. There's so much going on.
And
Another
I just
50
can't.
years. Let's go.
I just can't basically understand, and this is not an indictment on KISS fans, but I'd love to understand, why do KISS fans publicly come out and say they shouldn't do this, or I don't want them to do that? I want them to do everything, and then I'll pick and choose
Right.
what I'm interested in.
Because we don't want another samurai son.
Why?
Right.
I like Samurai Son.
I like the
Was it
video.
for
Yes.
The video's really good.
I'm the
Wasn't for
first
me,
one to
dude.
admit it.
The video's cool though.
I like it. Like, is it in my regular rotation? No. But I like the song, and I like the song because I don't look at it like this is a KISS song. I look at it like it's just music.
But there's so
If
many,
you don't put it next to Black Diamond,
Yeah.
But
it's
that's the
kind of
beauty.
catchy.
But that's the beauty of KISS, right? You have KISS people who are collectors and they get all these gadgets, which is really cool to look at. But I never would do it. Like, I'm not into collecting. You know what I mean? Like, there's all different categories of KISS fans. There's ones who love the Elder. There's ones who hate the Elder. There's ones who love Dynasty, who hate Dynasty. The beauty of this band is there's something for everybody. You can't say that about every band.
Absolutely. And don't touch
And-
my ascot.
Scott. That was quick. I like that.
Scott's
Thank you.
Scott's not here tonight. You know how many rewinds we're gonna get from that?
Don't
Scott?
touch my ascot.
What the hell has Scott got to do with it? We're gonna get the rewinds. I'll see that in the analytics. It'll go up through the roof. I guarantee it. Look, I just don't understand why all KISS fans aren't just saying inundate me with everything and let me be the adult. Like, you don't like Samurai Son.
Mm.
Anybody force you to listen to it?
Oh, I don't. Exactly.
Right. No, so don't listen to it. Look, we've discussed this. I've tried to give Sonic Boom and Monster try after try, and I still give it tries, but it doesn't really do anything for me. But past that song's okay. But it's there. It's in the catalog. It's part of History. For all the for the 15-year-old that's on Spotify right now and stumbles across KISS, and it may be Sonic Boom, like we've discussed this in the past, that there's an entire era of KISS fans that think that Tommy's the spaceman and Eric's the Catman. I
Right.
disagree with them, but I think that's cool for the entire KISS army, that we are constantly getting new fans because they keep doing new things. I was on social media, which I should throw myself off of, but I was on social media on one of these Facebook pages, and it jumped out at me that a guy put out a post that was like that long in real life. And I was like, oh, I guess I got to read this. And he was talking about the cutlery set, and he bought it. He invested in it. He thinks it's great. He this, he that. It's pre-order right now. It hasn't even come out yet, but he was all about it. And my first thought was, is this guy out of his mind?
Right.
And then I thought, no, he's not out of his mind. Like, maybe he's a chef.
Mhm.
Maybe 100 other things. It's like when we saw the Paul Stanley artwork. Oh, I love it. I'll give you $50 for it. But some people drop $10,000 on a Paul Stanley painting, and they think they were lucky for it. And I think that that's cool.
Well, remember the episode we did? We had somebody respond back and basically said it's worth more than what they were charging, or more than they were listing it as in one of our comments.
Right.
So somebody really knows art, knows the worth. Like I liked it all, but
do you know what that means?
It's all relative.
Do you know what that means?
No.
That means that Vinny may be right.
Oh man.
Just saying.
Wow.
Vinny could be right. Maybe the single is worth $225.
I don't know about that. I mean, the last thing I'll say is when we were reviewing albums, I like grunge. I grew into liking it a lot. I like Alice in Chains, and I didn't even realize I was checked out of KISS at that point. I still, but you said KISS did a grunge album. I was like, huh? Yeah, right. No way. They're not going to pull that off.
That is true.
It's one of my, I swear to God, it's one of my favorite albums. I love it. At first, I was like, what is Paul Stanley's voice singing grunge? What's that going to sound like?
Right.
He does. I love that song, Rain. Like, I mean, it just shows like you got to be a damn good musician to be able to pull something like that off and change genres and make it work.
But we've talked about this. What's the sound of KISS?
Isn't one in particular.
There really isn't. I mean,
unless you ask somebody who's closed to the we're right.
Era.
Continue.
The hardcore 70s fans will tell you, most of them will tell you that is the sound of KISS.
Right.
But if you're a hardcore 70s fan, you have to include Dynasty, which doesn't really sound like any of the other records.
Correct.
And then if you dig through song by song, for every Black Diamond, Detroit Rock City, you come across, not to make a joke, but Kissin' Time. And Rock and Roll Party. And so I don't know how anybody pegs KISS as, pegs might be the wrong choice of words, but I don't know how anybody puts KISS in a closet. No, closet is the wrong word to use. I'm trying.
Box.
I'm trying. A box. There you go.
There you go.
A box. Is it a horizontal or vertical box?
Sounds like vertical the way you're talking.
All right. Well, we only talk about horizontal boxes here on the Hooligan Nation podcast. Sorry.
Doing my job.
Did I say that out loud? God damn it. Bad. But what is the sound of KISS? I don't think anybody in reality can lock down a sound. So that blows my mind. Like,
I got a good question for you. How many people, diehard Ace fans, was like, I'm done with the band after Ace left? I know a few.
Oh yeah, and they're still out there.
Right. The sound, it's not KISS anymore. They don't have that signature sound with Ace. I'm done. There's a lot of KISS fans that are like that. Like they stopped when Ace left. They were done with it.
And look at how much they missed. Look, I agree.
Absolutely.
With them. I agree with
it. Was their loss. Absolutely, in my opinion.
That Ace brought a signature sound,
100%,
to the band, but I would argue that it may not have been as good. But all the guitar players that followed him, I got to do it, except for Tommy. And I'm not picking on Tommy, but if you listen to Vinny, you know that's not Ace. If you listen,
their own sound.
If you listen to Mark St. John, you know that's not Ace.
If
you listen to Bruce, you know that's not Ace. If you listen to Tommy,
what's Tommy's signature? I hear what you're saying.
He's imitating.
And no, I don't want to. No, I don't want to. I don't want to go because I think that saying he imitates Ace is putting him down. And
I don't, because that's not an easy job, and he's doing his own version.
You know what? And I'll put the onus on myself when it comes to Monster and Sonic Boom, because I really couldn't tell you honestly if he put his own mark on that or he stayed in the style of. I gotta. that would be a challenge to like go through that and really see if he put his signature on that. Because I'll tell you something else. I'm a big Black and Blue fan. He had his own style on Black and Blue. He didn't play like Kiss on those albums.
I think he stayed in the pocket on those albums, if I'm being honest.
So do I.
On
but
Black
but
and,
is
Black
that
and Blue? Oh, on the Monster? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
is that imitation or is that influence?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's fair. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm like. I don't want to use the word imitation because like we've done this podcast now, I think it's like 16 months, and I started this podcast out beating the hell out of Tommy.
That's
And
true.
my beatings were more about the makeup and the imitation. When it comes to making new music, is it imitation or is it influence? I don't have an answer for that. I don't know that anybody has an answer for that. Ace was not an influence to Vinny. So
Clearly.
Vinny brought his own style. Eric Carr, Peter Criss was not an influence to Eric Carr. John Bonham was. He brought his own style.
Correct.
Tommy shouldn't be beat up because he was a huge Kiss fan and a huge Ace fan. Like, I think that's unfair to do to him, and I can't believe I'm sitting here
Well, but you know what though?
Defending
picking up for Tommy.
Yeah, but you've also stuck up for him before, saying if it wasn't for adding Tommy and Eric, we got another 20 years out of them because of that. So I'm
And that's-
thankful.
For sure.
We're thankful
For
for
sure.
them. Absolutely.
And that's
thankful.
kind of the basis of this whole thing is why. Look, if Kiss fans said, I'm sure some of them did, like, please, Peter, don't do anything else other than After All for One, we would never get this album. So why do you take it for what it is? If you like it, you like it. And if you don't, you have to know that the Kiss Army is big enough that somebody's going to like it.
Yeah.
Somebody bought the Strutter $50,000 gold single. Somebody
There's-
bought it.
Yeah.
Somebody is buying the cutlery set. As long as there's people out there that want it, I have no issue with it. Like, if I'm not interested in it, I have a platform. I'll talk about it. But that's the end of it. You know, it's like physical copies. Somebody made a comment in, I don't know, one of the last 3 episodes that, you know, he didn't put it this way, but paraphrasing, it was kind of like, you have to buy physical copies. And I looked at the comment and I was like, no, I don't. And he actually, it worked with me. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy all 3 versions of the Peter Criss album, white, silver, and black. I'm not going to play them. I don't have a record player. But yeah, I can support Peter at 80 years old in what he did and go buy physical copies. And he kind of swayed me a little bit. But it at the end of the day, it becomes, well, you do what you want to do, and I'll do what I want to do. You don't want to buy a record? Don't buy it. You don't want to buy a $1,200 knife? Don't buy it. But it's out there for whoever wants to. And I think that's the cool part. You're going to pay for it, though. You're always going to pay for it. If you're listening to us on any of the podcast platforms, please leave us a review. And if you just found us, check out our past episodes. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel and you like this episode, please consider hitting the like button, just like Abbott and Costello here, and leaving us a comment. Hit that subscribe button, just like those 2 fine guys, so you don't miss any future episodes. And check out these episodes right here. As always, if you made it this far, thank you for supporting us. And don't forget, we should all lead with love and take care of each other. Peace out, Hooligan Nation.